Our next contestant is called Augusto Sotelo from Goowi. Way.
Thank you.
Thanks to you.
Sorry. Once in a while, a simple idea comes along and changes everything. I'm Augusto from Goowi, and we help businesses grow with philanthropy. In 2006, Tom Shoes started a revolution by making philanthropy the core of their marketing strategy. It made a lot of sense because it's the right thing to do, and it made a lot of sense because customers love buying from socially responsible brands. You see, when a brand empowers you to change the world by buying their product, it builds a strong emotional connection with that brand, which translates into longer relationships, repeat sales, and word-of-mouth marketing. But a lot has changed over the years. Social media has become the new word-of-mouth. 1 out of 10 sales happen online, and most of that happens from our cell phones. However, corporate philanthropy hasn't seen technological innovation since, well, never. Pretty much this is what's happening with corporate philanthropy today. 2 people know about it: the person that writes the check from the company, the person that receives the check from the charity. So we asked 100 people, what causes would you support if giving money to donate? We got 100 very diverse answers. And then we asked, what brands are supporting those charities that you care about? We got only 3 answers. The problem is how it's being done and how it's being measured. At Goowi, we make corporate philanthropy social, impactful, and measurable. We help businesses in a fun and interactive way give their customers access to the corporate donations for them to allocate to charities that they care about. Taking advantage of the power of mobile and the reach of social media, customers can raise awareness for the charity they supported and the brand that made it possible. Let's take a typical example of a business giving a $20,000 donation to a charity chosen by the CEO. In most cases, at the end, there's no return on investment or very little. But instead, if that business would have let their customers have access to their money and give it to charities that they care about, we would have created a lot of social impact. I mean, a lot. And that's how we create return on investment. It's measurable and it's easy. But only helping businesses that are giving money to charity is only the beginning for Goowi. You maybe have been in a supermarket at the checkout at the cashier and asked to give $1 to charity. We're digitalizing that experience. We're allowing small retail stores and e-commerce stores to integrate philanthropy in their checkout processes. Our software is very easy to use. There's no need for downloads, and it's customizable to the needs of the customer. Businesses can have access to a global database of charities. They can integrate social giving features and donation processing capabilities into their existing websites. We're currently working with corporate companies as well as integrating with Shopify. And we will grow by integrating Goowi into other e-commerce platforms. Just to give you a sense of scale, between Shopify and Lightspeed, they serve more than 300,000 stores, and they process more than $30 billion in donations. As a FinTech company, what Goowi does is manages and handles donations from the business and their customers. And we charge a transactional fee on that. I'm very fortunate to be leading an extraordinary team, helping businesses make philanthropy their new marketing strategy. For more than 10 years, I've helped hundreds of businesses promote their brands with promotional products. Today, we're using similar principles to help businesses promote their commitment to social responsibility. So thanks to Goowi, now any business can power their marketing with goodwill. Thanks to Goowi, now any business can empower their customers to change the world together. So if you run a business and you want to increase your social impact and your return on investment, Goowi can help. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Augusto Sotelo for Goowi. I will ask Gary if he has a comment or a question for Augusto.
Both, actually. It's funny, I was getting an oil change last Friday, and I was sitting and picked up an old Economist, and I don't know how old it was, but there was an article on there, and it was entitled "Doing Well by Doing Well," and it was talking about corporate philanthropy and how organisations tend to outperform when they do have a social impact, and it's certainly something that you've seen over the last 20 years. You've seen the value of Tom's, which you drew an example to, and even other celebrity causes that have gone out there. I think it says Jessica Alba with Honest, which is about to sell for billions of dollars with some social element to that as well. What my question is, I absolutely love the concept and have family members that are involved heavily in philanthropy and in the public relations aspect of that. I see you have an initiative going out there to create relationships with some of the platforms, which is great. I see Shopify and some of the other platforms out there. What's your strategy to get to that end customer, though, to the actual corporation? Because unfortunately, there tends not to be a position within these organisations that has ultimate responsibility over this. It's not a finance role necessarily. It's not necessarily a CEO role or a HR role. It seems that it's going to be very difficult for you to target a particular organisations, particularly the large ones, and find out who's actually the person that's going to sponsor this internally and carry this forward and make sure that their organisation carries through with it.
Well, very large corporations actually do have philanthropy departments, and it takes about $500,000 just to run a small philanthropy department. And it's actually easier to find that one person that runs it in those large corporations. On the small ones, we're going with the Shopify integration, Lightspeed integrations, and so forth and so forth. The challenge might be more in the middle size. And you're right, there's a silo effect. So philanthropy today in corporations is being managed by different type of people, from CEOs, human resources, and in some cases philanthropy. And the way we are, our angle is more in the marketing aspect as well. So for example, now we're working with Telos, and actually there's many departments involved in this campaign that we're launching with Enfant Soleil. So it's just, speaking to more than one. Answering your question, speaking to more than one.
Right, and I see where you're partnering with the platforms. I mean, obviously this gives a competitive advantage to the platform's end customer, so I assume you're working to sort of train the sales reps and the organisation to understand what the value of this is so that they can carry it forward, sort of as a push it forward for you within their customer base.
Yes, so we're actually working with a web agency company, a digital marketing company that works with many charities and corporations. What's interesting, though, from a sales perspective, is when I talk to a corporation, they already have partnerships with hundreds of charities. Like literally, like Québécois helps 400 different charities. So by talking to Québécois, I'm already approaching that. And the same happens with charities, obviously larger charities. When I do a partnership with a charity, they already have corporate donors, and they have to reconvince them over and over again why they should put money again this year. And Goowi becomes a tool, a partner for the charities to do that. So by getting one customer, I'm getting many.
Excellent.
Jay has a question. We have a few seconds left.
Augusto, I love you. Good team, big problem. I think we were hearing from Gary, impacting purpose, but it's the focus. I'm not sure when you have such a big problem, it's hard to tease out your business model, and you want to focus in on a group. You'll solve it, but it's working from there, because right now it looks like you're covering a lot of ground.
Yeah, yes.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Can I just say a quick comment? What I like about this is that I find it's a marketing, and to your point, it's a marketing will have a vested interest in this, because I think it compares to ad impressions. And if you can donate $20,000, but you get, maybe 5,000 ad impressions, you can very quickly measure what those ad impressions would be worth and how you drive traffic to somebody else. Just like also an e-commerce website that you can upsell them with something in return for something, it's very, very measurable. So what I like about it is that it's measurable. I think marketing will have a vested interest in doing it. And I think that you're going to compare, and they're going to do an ROI based on the ad impressions that you're going to supply them. So I like your passion.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Augusto Sodolo for Goowi. Thanks a lot.